Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Karla and I'm gardening in Zone 9, Southeast Texas. It has finally gotten chilly here. I'm not going to say cold, but it's windy, so it feels really cold after being so hot. But I wanted to take a few minutes to show you what I've gotten done so far in the garden. The biggest thing I've gotten done this week is I was able to purchase a covering for my greenhouse. Normally I just take plastic and piece it together. If I can find a video of that, I'll show you what that looks like. But this one is better. It's a little large, but it does fit and it holds the heat in way better than the other one did. So I'm hoping that it will fix my problem of keeping the extreme cold out once we get into January and February. So I'm going to show you that, and then I'm going to show you the other things I've done in the garden. So let's get started. Okay, so here it is. I'm sure you've seen these before. I never thought I could get one to fit because me and my brother when we first got started gardening again, this was our coil cage. And so over the years, it has slowly transformed into other things. But as you can see here, it's just, it's a thin plastic, but it's a thin plastic, but living in Southeast Texas, we really don't get super cold. So it should do. But you see this ridge here? It should be here. If it was the exact same size as the unit. But this was as close as I could get it. And honestly, I'm very proud of it. Because I do think it will retain the heat better than the one I was using before. And once I get some ties to put on it, it'll be even better. But I just want to show you how I did it. Like right now you can see it, the wind is really moving the outside of it because it's not a snug fit. So I need to get some ties to go across the top and down into the ground to keep it better in place. To give it a snugger fit. But it has these little windows here, and there's 3 on each side, and what I've done is see the material, because it is larger than the unit that I'm putting it on. I was able to double fold the material here at the bottom, and I've started putting soil to keep it down. And then once I get my ties, I'll just move this back a bit and tie it down snug. But for right now, the soil going around the sides are keeping it in place. But see, if I stand at an angle here, can you see how wrinkly it is there? That's showing you that it is larger than, it's not a snug fit. But it was the closest I could get because this was just cattle panels that me and my brother folded over and turned into a house for the quail. And now we've transformed it into a winter storage area, a little greenhouse for the more sensitive plants. And it also gives me somewhere to grow vegetables during the winter months. Now, moving past the greenhouse, I will take you in there once I start cleaning it out and transforming it into what I want it to look like this winter. Right now it's a little junky in there, so I'm not going to show you inside today. But here on this table, I've started sowing winter vegetables. I have some pak choi and turnips and collard greens and Brussels sprouts and things like that. But I just got this put in yesterday, so nothing is sprouting except for these few onions that I have left over here that I haven't found a place for them yet in the garden. Okay, now here in the back garden, I've never overwintered my eggplants. But I'm going to dig those up and put them in pots and see if I can make them survive like you do peppers. I have a few more pepper plants that I need to get up. These that are right here, I don't know if I'm going to try to make them survive. If I do, I might just leave them in place and mulch them real good. But I already have some pepper plants, bell peppers and jalapeno peppers in that I've put in pots and have them in the house under grow lights. And I'll show you that set up later. But here in this bed, there's a plane flying over, so excuse all that noise. But here in this bed, I just took some mustard greens and spread them down in here because mainly what I grow in the winter is for the chickens. I don't do a whole lot of growing for me and Mama during the winter months. I mean, we eat it, but I don't do a whole lot of growing. I mainly grow peas for us because this is the best time of the year to grow peas. And so here I have peas growing, but as you can see, I still have a few lima beans here. And as long as it's warm enough for them not to die, I'm going to leave them. But when they go away, and I think I talked about this on another video, the sweet peas are starting to grow up. I don't know if they've started, no, I don't think they've started putting on any flowers yet. Right here is starting to flower. But they're mainly just starting to climb. And in the next couple of weeks, they'll take this whole trellis over because these are coming to these beans are coming to an end. It's getting too cold for them. Those are lima beans. Now here inside of this first cage, I put a few potatoes in this bed. I also have some in grow bags that I'm going to take into the house. But these were my extras. And so I've just been letting them do what they're going to do. I hope they make enough for me to have some seed potatoes next year. I ordered these online and I needed to get them in some soil because I didn't think they would last the winter. They already were quite, they had a lot of eyes on them already, and I was concerned that they wouldn't last. And I took the chance anyway. But hopefully, see, this one has gotten pretty tall. And these on this side, they're trying to catch up, but something's got in here and started eating this one. But it is putting on little leaves again. So hopefully, I'm not expecting a harvest to eat off of these. I'm just hoping that they make enough potatoes to be seed potatoes for next year's garden. And here I have some torpedo onions. I don't know if you can see that, but they are not doing good. They seem to be struggling. So I'm going to put some fertilizer on them and try to give them some love. But I think this big clump of trees that's back here, see all of that, I think they're shading stuff out too much in this grow area. So I need to get those cut down. But I have a few torpedo onions in this bed, and then I have, in that corner, I still have my blackberries, and they're looking really good. So I ought to get some blackberries next year, but these are very young plants, and so we're just going to have to wait and see. In this bed here, this is where, in a previous video, I grew sweet potatoes one year. And see, it's right in front of the chicken runs. But these are Lobo radishes. I've never grown them before, but they're coming along pretty good. So hopefully I'll be able to taste them. They're a very large radish, and most radishes are hot, in my opinion. And so I'm hoping because they're larger, they'll have a milder flavor. But leave them chickens alone. And then right here in the corner, here I just did a row of carrots. I'm really growing a lot of carrots all over the garden this year because I've ran very low on them. But this is the cage. I can't remember if I showed it on a previous video where I wanted to keep Buddy. See? There he is right there. But he's so used to being wild and free, so I'm having trouble containing him. He digs out of anything I put him in. So I'm thinking I'm going to use this as a grow cage. I'm not going to worry. His bed is on the porch, and I think I'm just going to leave him on the porch. But this cage, I haven't decided what I'm going to do with it, or if it's even going to stay here, because I still need to clean all this out. If you look that way, I had all that area tarped last year, and so I would like for all of that to go together and be one bed that would maybe have, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 rows in it. I got to give it more thought. But first, I need to get all this scrap wood up and the rest of that fencing that's back there, and go all the way back, killing the rest of that grass. It's not a lot left, but right there is a pipe, and so I don't know what I'm gonna do there. I may stop the beds from going that far, or I may just turn it into a flower garden, because somewhere back here, after I'm through cleaning everything, I still need to find somewhere to put my bees. So maybe the bees will sit there. I'm not really sure yet. But I got a rooster. I haven't named him yet. I just realized he was a rooster a couple of weeks ago. He's very young. All of these chicks are very young. They're from my last rooster, Mister. I have 6 chicks from him, and I purchased some from Mary McMurray right before winter, right before they stopped shipping. So I'll show you them a little later because they're very young and they're on the inside. I'm just showing you these guys because they're here and they're making so much noise, but they are huge because their mama was a very big bird, so I love that. And they all have little afros because their dad had a big plumage on his head, so I don't know if you remember seeing him, but maybe I'll put a picture up of him. Then over here are my old girls. Right now I'm keeping the young ones separated from them because they're very aggressive with them, and I guess that's normal, but I'll wait until spring to try to mix them together. I want these guys, while they're big, they're still very young, and I don't know if they can protect themselves. I don't want them to get really beat up, so we'll see. Now this bed here needs some loving care. I need to get rid of those pepper plants. I think I'm going to dig them up because, see if you look at this one, it's still making peppers. So I think that's a good sign that these are healthy, and I may be able to put them in pots and overwinter them indoors. And oh, I broke the little pepper off. And get them growing, keep them alive until next year. That's what I'm hoping. But here on this fence, I have some more sweet peas that's just starting, and this lemongrass will die back. It's already showing signs of cold, so it'll die back, and then I'll restructure this whole bed. um, back over in this corner here, I want to get rid of that wandering Jew and get it into some pots and make this whole bed, rework this whole area so that what's here is edible. Some of my problem is the little dog is doing a lot of digging. But here's a little Swiss chard that it is finally taking. I think there's like 4 plants here, and then that's some purple kale that's doing fairly well. And so I just need to get over here and do some more work. Now here in these pots, these are potatoes too, and they're all growing a little. See, there's a little one there coming up. This one is more ahead of the others. And then in this pot, I don't know if you can see that, but it's starting to peep through. The potato is starting to grow. These will go indoors when it gets a little colder, and try to overwinter them inside. Here in this bed on the back side of the greenhouse, I have garlic, and it's doing okay, but I need to put some more. I need to mulch it. I need to mulch it and kind of protect it from the little dog because he lays on it. None of them are broke yet, so maybe it's okay. But every now and then I come outside and he's on them. So while I like having him, I don't know how long I'm going to keep him if he can't learn to stay off my beds. See here, all of this whole area here was carrots, and he dug a big hole, so I need to replant. And I need to figure out if I need to contain him better or put some little fencing up around so he can't get in the bed so easily. Because I do enjoy him. I don't want to get rid of him. Oh, here I have some more sweet peas coming up. And on the other side, I have some that have not broken through yet, but this whole trellis will be full of sweet peas also. Okay, and here in the front of this bed I have some nasturtiums. I'm growing these few. I bought a packet and I'm growing these few hoping I can get some seeds of my own, but they're looking really good, and so hopefully they will bloom well and make seeds so I can propagate them. Under this metal wiring I have more onion, and they're doing fairly well. I just did not realize that bulb onion takes so long to grow, to get size on them, and so what I'm having to do is try to protect them from the little dog that's running around getting in everything. Right here I bought a small pack of broad beans, and I'm mainly doing this to get seed. I would like to start using the broad beans as a fertilizer, but I didn't want to buy a lot of seeds, so I bought one small packet. And I'm going to let these grow into maturity and collect the seeds to have for next year. Because I might can grow some in the early spring. I've never tried to grow them in the spring. I always grow them through our winters because it's so hot here. In this pot I have elephant garlic. Now it hasn't sprouted yet. I just received it. I bought some on Etsy, and the bulbs looks very, very good. So I have 6 in this bed, 6 bulbs in this bed, and well, in that container. And then I have 2 in each one of these. And hopefully that'll give me some seeds for extending my garlic, my elephant garlic collection. Okay, here in this bed is where I planted my asparagus. Some of it's new little seedling and some of it's older. Like this here is an older plant. And so I may be able to get some mature ones out of there next year. I'm not really sure. I've never moved them before. But I hope with time this bed will fill out and become healthy and all the little seedlings will do well, and then I can have a lot of asparagus in maybe 2 years, because I do think because I moved them it may slow them down a little bit. And then there's some young ones in there that I just bought that I know are going to take about 3 years to be healthy enough to start picking. So, but I trimmed this Rose of Sharon bush. I may need to trim it lower, but I thought this was a good place because this is my first year trimming it, and I didn't want to cut it back too much. But it is getting very large, and I thought I needed to cut it so it'll bush out more than it has been. And I'm working on this bed here. I just started it, and I planted a few. Get off of it, buddy. I planted a few sweet potato plants in there. And I know when the cold comes, they're going to die. But what I'm hoping is they'll have little tubers down in there. And I'll make this a sweet potato mound. And it'll start here and go all the way into where those canna lilies are. Because I haven't had time yet. But these canna lilies, I have too many of them. And they're not edible. So I'm going to cut these back in a couple of days and start working on digging up most of the roots and extending this into a sweet potato bed that I'll use every year. I'm going to do my best to have 2 or 3 of them around the garden. And then this tree, I'm going to cut it all the way back down to about there so that it'll bush out, because it's getting way too big. And you see it has a few berries on it. It's starting to lose its leaves, but it still has a few berries on it. The problem is it's too tall for me to get the mulberries off, so I need to turn it into a bush. And so that is something I'll do later on during the winter, and then I'll dry that wood and use it for something. This banana tree, I got all the pups from around the base of it, and now I just need to come out and wrap it to try to protect it from winter, because I've never gotten bananas off of it, and it's time to see. It's a Cavendish, if I hadn't said that already, and it's time for me to get some fruit for my labors off of it. So hopefully when I wrap it, it'll survive the winter and give me fruit next year. And again, all of those canna lilies back there, I'm going to get rid of all of those. At first I put them there because I have a chicken run back there. And I think I'm going to get rid of it and just put some shade cloth or something there, because during the summer months, see, if you look that way, there's a access road, and city workers come to do things on that road all the time. And so I really would like for this to stay hidden. So that's why I grew those canna lilies there, so that the chickens won't be pestered. But the canna lilies are taking over the garden. Their runners are coming further and further out into the garden. So I'm going to remove all of them. And then here, I still have to take the covering off of this tree. That's a mulberry tree too. And I'm giving thought to getting rid of it. I think it's too close to the chicken coop and I don't want it to cause problems with the roof. So I got to give it some more thought, but sometime during the next couple of weeks, I'm going to either cut it down really, really low like I'm doing the others, or I'm going to get it up all together. Now here, this is, I don't remember, I planted this fig tree last year from a cutting I took from the main tree. And so it did pretty good. It gave me a little fruit. But I have to think about if I want to move this structure and give it this full room or not. But maybe I'll just keep it small because I have 2 large fig trees and two younger ones. So I might just keep this one where it stays this size because I do like it here. Now, if you go up, 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 you see there I have a moringa tree and it's putting on seeds. I don't remember planting this moringa tree here, but it's the only one that's giving me seeds, so I'm allowing it to do that. And then I'm thinking I'm going to get rid of this one because I also have a moringa tree there, and I do like having that one there. It kind of keeps, well, I just like the way it looks, honestly, but it does allow shade to be over this window during the hotter part of the summer. So I know I want to leave that one, but I don't need 2. They're too close together. So after these seeds ripen and I harvest them, I'm going to get rid of this tree. I'm not sure if I planted it there on purpose or not, but if I did, I made a huge mistake. I don't want it there. Now here, every year I grow mustard greens, and this year is no different. I got a few mustard greens here. A lot of them did not take, so the bed is a little sketchy. But in a couple of days I'm gonna come and I need to weed it. Down here you see all of that. That's just clover. I need to get that up, and then I will probably, I have some blush. I think they're called blush. I have some blush sweet peas, and I'm going to put them on this trellis after I clean it off. And then in this old refrigerator, I've been putting cuttings and things like that, and right now it's full, but I know it's going to die back as things start to shrink. And then I'll put some soil on top of it and just let it rot, and I'll put some soil on top of it and just let it all settle in, and hopefully by late spring I can start planting in it. And I think right now I'm thinking I may put blueberries in here because it should hold maybe 3 blueberry plants. And blueberries need a different type of soil. It needs to be alkaline, and so that would help me to do that. But I got to give it some more thought. Because initially when I got this ice box to use, it was going to be a wormery. So I still might turn it into a wormery. I'm just thinking right now. But right now this is what it looks like. It's just cram full of garden clippings and trying to fill it in so that when all this, and I put soil on top, it'll be really good. So now in this bed by the porch, this will, let me See if I can do this without the sun. Okay, and this bed by the porch, this bed will, once everything is finished, I'm going to leave, once the Egyptian spinach there, I've taken the seeds off of it because you see it's putting on seed pods. Once they're ready to harvest and I get that out of there, this bed will eventually be a herb bed. I'm going to get rid of this that elephant ear that's back there. It's been there so long, but I'm going to get rid of that, and I may make this where I have those sweet peas, I may make that trellis bigger because I do like growing sweet peas and moringa and things like that. Not moringa. I do like growing sweet peas near the house, and so I may extend that, but I got to give it some thought. But this whole bed eventually will be predominantly herbs, sage and different things like that. This rosemary is doing really good. This rosemary is growing really well, so I'm going to take a lot of cuttings from it and propagate them for the store. And it's such a large plant. I probably could also get some clippings for the kitchen off of it, dry some of it. But yeah, this bed will eventually be worked into a herb garden, and it'll go all the way around to that bed. So again, I'm giving it some thought, and I apologize for the sun. The sun is starting to set, and I don't know how much of this footage I'm going to be able to use, but I hope I can use most of it. And then I have these two papaya trees, this one and that one, in pots. I may take two more, so that will give me 4, and try to grow them, try to put them indoors for winter, because once it gets cold, these larger ones are going to die. It gets too cold here for them to survive. I am going to try to wrap this one and maybe one more and see if that helps the way that I wrap the banana trees. But I'm going to bring at least 4 into the house in the next couple of days and see if they'll survive under grow lights. I hope they will. But see those two right there, they're still fairly small, so I'm going to dig those up and see if I can put them in pots and see if I can get them to not only survive the winter indoors, but maybe then I'll get some papayas before winter, because this is my second time growing them. And last year they did get bigger. They started to flower before winter, but I still have not gotten fruit. So I think I need to get big pots where I can take them in and out. And so that's what I'm going to try to do this year. And then this banana tree, I've cleared all the pups away from it, and I'm going to wrap it in a couple of days so it'll survive winter and maybe give me some fruit next year, because I didn't get any fruit this year, but I forgot to wrap my trees, so that's my fault. And then down here under the peach tree, I have some more garlic there and a small patch of ginger here. most of my ginger I have in pots, and I've already put them indoors. But I'm gonna, these, I did not think they were gonna grow because I couldn't see the eyes on them, but they grew. So now I'm gonna mulch them real heavy. And I know the tops are gonna die back, but hopefully the roots will survive and they'll come back in spring. Now I don't know what's going on with this peach tree, but you see there, you see that sap or whatever that is. It's hard, but that's new, and so I don't know if that's fungus or not. That little grafted part was there when I bought it, but this is the first time I've noticed that it's like oozing something. So I need to get online and see what that is. If you know what that is, if it's treatable or if I should not worry about it, I would really appreciate someone telling me what to do, because the tree is finally getting mature enough where maybe I'll get some fruit off of it. The leaves are starting to die, so once they die all the way back, I'll trim it. And because I hadn't been trimming it, and I noticed last year when I trimmed it, it made more flowers. So I'm going to trim it just a little bit. Again this winter, and hopefully it ought to be close to making flowers. So I mean, hopefully it ought to be close to making fruit. It's been flowering, but the fruit never formed. So I need to read up on it too. I'm just hoping it's not due to that oozing. It may be sick. I don't know enough about peach trees to know, but it would be nice if I could get some peaches next year. Okay, so that's it. I thank you for watching my videos. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I would really appreciate you doing that, because I'm trying to get monetized. Go over to karlapatton.com and visit my seed shop, and continue to watch my videos and to help me grow. And thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.